We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 259. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is the current reigning, defending Scholars of Wrestling heavyweight champion, Scholar Tarek. How's your night going tonight?
Actually, fool, it's actually quite disappointing.
Disappointing? Why disappointing?
Because this is the first time we go into an Extreme Rules prediction show, and I forgot my bottle of Mountain Dew. Because, you know, Mountain Dew is the drink of the extreme
Whatever
crowd.
will you do?
Kind of bitch and moan about it, which is what I'm doing now. Because, you know, I want my dew.
So you're going to make a mountain out of molehills about your dew? And that's what you'll do?
As you've seen, to my left is the pun master himself, along with the current number one contender to the Scholars of Wrestling World Championship, Charlie Morone. How's your night going, sir?
Not too good. I feel like I'm coming down with a case of the sniffles. And I got a Third Eye Blind concert to be at tomorrow night.
That is lovely, so thank you for infecting us today.
You are so welcome.
That is delightful.
I have championship fever.
But you know what?
And I know the cure.
Well, you can certainly make the effort, and you know what? It's Extreme Rules. Safety is out the door. We are going to suck it up regardless of sniffles. I mean, we're wearing our Bullet Club t-shirts. It doesn't get more extreme than that.
Damn right.
Well, except for you fool.
That's fine.
I
got all I need right here.
On your shoulder.
And it's
For now.
It's staying right here.
For now.
Yes.
For a long time.
For now.
Yes.
For a very long time.
Unfortunately, Mr. Scholar in the Bank, Brian, could not be with us today, but he did give us his predictions, and so we shall impart ours as well. So let's dive right into it. The title's on the line. This is Extreme Rules WWE 2019. Here we go, starting with the Cruiserweight Championship. Drew Gulak defending against Tony Nese. Gentlemen, who do you got?
Champion goes first. Rules of the house. And with that, it's going to be Drew Gulak successfully defending against Tony Nese. It's been long overdue since him getting that title, so might as well hold on to it for his first real title defense.
Okay. We'll normally go around, so that would be you would be next, followed by me.
All right. Drew just got the title. He's killing it, so I think he's going to retain.
We don't need another Tony Nese bland title reign.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I like Tony Nese.
With 205 Live, it seems the heels crushed it as champion more than the faces.
Yeah, in this particular case, we're gonna have to make a quadfecta of sorts. I'm going to go with Drew Gulak too. This one's going to be fairly clean cut. It's too early for him to lose it. Maybe he'll have a threat at SummerSlam, but for now, this is just a return match. Albeit a probably entertaining one. The result is fairly clean cut in this case.
Imagine if his number one contender for SummerSlam actually ends up being Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship at SummerSlam.
I would actually love that personally. It'll lend credibility to the title.
I know, but I'd like them to keep the 205 title to like the new breed of guys, but whatever. Ray can infect whatever he wants.
I like this strictly because it'll give
Is this a rumor? Is this talk? Or
actually, it's just me. It's just me pitching the idea now.
Hopefully Vince isn't listening.
Well, I hope he is, because I actually really like the idea. Well, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Or maybe Dominic can be a number one contender.
That is a little much, but moving on. All right, next match, the Revival, who are defending champions, versus the Usos. Charlie, you're up. Who do you got?
I got the Revival retaining.
Got the Revival retaining.
Yep.
Okay.
I feel that like them being part of the henchmen for Shane, although it's not like a primary focus, I just feel like WWE has stock in them from even like putting them in the segments weeks ago. And they're still fresh, they're still good. I mean, they may both be 1 foot out the door, but I think I don't see an umpteenth Uso reign here. I just see the Revival retaining.
All right, champ, who do you got?
I've actually really
Brian's picks?
no.
Oh, okay.
It'll just be on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So
To be announced later.
when it came down to really looking at who would get the more advantage on this one, I looked at the Raw Tag Division at a whole, and really thinking about it, it's really just a big pile of heel tag teams. You have the Good Brothers, you have the Viking Experian Raiders, you have...
They're rating my credit score?
Oh, yes. You have, very soon, a returning AOP.
Ow.
And you can't really include Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins because now they've just been lowered down to the 24/7 title.
Yeah.
So when I really looked at this, I'm like, well, these teams are kind of stuck in a rut because they don't really want to have a heel tag team versus heel tag team. So, and then I'm also looking at where would Paul Heyman put his newly won tag team titles go, and that's going to be the Usos. They're going to win the tag team titles. Just to set up for
It's getting interesting already.
for potential for a whole line of heel guys. Because if it's a heel tag team, they're just basically wasting time. I mean, look at what the Viking Raider Experience is doing right now. They're just squashing locals. I see them being the next. I see them, the Usos versus the Viking Raider Experience at SummerSlam for the Raw Tag Team Championship.
I would go along with that prediction if it weren't for one thing.
But you're forgetting.
But you're forgetting one thing. I'm not sure if you're forgetting this because it's not your perspective, but I don't think I really see the Usos as a heel right now, at least not in the eyes of WWE. And
I'm just talking about the Revival.
Yeah. He said he's picking the Usos because they're faces.
Right. Well, even so, okay, disregard that. I am a nut butter boy. Instead, I'm going to go with the Revival. I think they've got something much bigger planned. Like you said, I think they're a good shot for someone else, possibly the Viking Experience Raiders. What'd you call them? The Experience Raiders?
I called it the Viking Raider Experience.
I
or
thought
Viking Experience Raiders.
I thought you called them the Viking Experience Raiders. That's why I said, oh, they're rating my credit score now?
The Viking Raider Experience.
Guys, we're putting too much stock into a team that's not on the card.
Well, hey, when I hear about a team called the Viking Experience Raiders, yeah, you got my attention.
You're putting too much focus on a tag team who are the tag team champions and still don't get entrances.
It's true.
Say yeah.
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 But anyway, moving on, we've got the exciting match of Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley.
Did you hear they went through the screen a few weeks ago?
Did they?
Did you hear that or see that?
I only heard that they went through the screen.
Yeah.
Oh. And then they also went through the screen.
Yeah, and then they went through the screen again on SmackDown.
And then they held on that one very specific shot from a stationary camera.
You're going to the morgue.
You're a bastard. Yeah, Braun Strowman.
I really miss Brian right now.
Why is that?
Because you're like a completely different person because he's here now.
Okay, in what way?
Oh yeah, did you see the punch of the screen? Oh yeah, guess what? They went through the screen. Yeah.
Well, it's what WWE is doing to us.
You know what else? You know what else they did? You know what else they did? They went through the screen.
You turn the page, you wash your hands.
You turn the page, you wash your hands.
Honestly,
and then you turn the page, and then you wash your hands.
I wish one of us kept it on DVR from Raw and SmackDown for the past 2 weeks. It happens 2 weeks ago, right?
It was 2 weeks
ago.
ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish one of us kept them on DVR for like the past 2 weeks of Raw and SmackDown and could count how many times they've replayed that.
Oh, brother.
Or talked about it.
There's some things that one should not know.
In the high dozens.
Right, anyway.
I should point out that this is a last man standing match.
Last man standing match. See, at least there's an interesting
It's the extreme factor of this match.
It's at least there should be. I'm expecting there's probably going to be some sort of big ridiculous spot. It's a natural outgrowth of what's been going on, but even so, I don't think the result is going to change at all. Fool?
Well, one thing, the tackle through the screen actually kind of made this match a little more I'm more intrigued on what they can do in this match. So, and the thing is, when it came to it, they actually know how to work with each other. They actually work pretty well together. So I'm actually expecting
one of the few men aside from Roman that can work with Lashley.
I will say, this is going to be just nothing but just stupid fun. So, but
it's a big beefy man.
Two big burly men beating the crap out of each other.
It's a big beefy man.
So one of them can't stand.
From what the rumors are going around that Braun is going to get a big push after this. So I'm going to go with Braun as well.
It's weird. It was a double-edged sword at first because I heard that Lashley was going to get a push, and then I heard Lashley's also 1 foot out the door to go back to Bellator, and but I wouldn't have picked Lashley to begin with, so Braun, because Braun things.
Because big beefy man battles, and that's what Braun does.
Imagine Braun Strowman actually he gets like a surprise custom appearance on the brawny paper towels.
That'd be awesome.
This is meta.
I get it, and then I just won't use it. I just won't use it. I'll just use it as a collector's thing and just have him sign it.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have to sign it brawny though.
Oh, of course. Like how I want Ryback to sign a big thing of a Rice Krispie treat.
You know, Ryback has like a motivational speaking podcast now.
What a dad!
What a jerk I was! What a dad! Shouts to all 6 of you who will get that reference.
I got it.
Next up, we've got Ricochet, the champion, the U.S. champion, defending against AJ Styles.
This one took me forever.
This one's the hardest
on the card.
What do you got?
Yes.
Wait, is it my turn? Wait, whose turn is it?
I just dropped Braun out of nowhere.
So now you.
Okay, so yeah, This is the one match when you actually look at it, and it's the perfect example on both guys needing to win this, because it's Ricochet's first pay-per-view title defense versus a newly formed heel with a reformed faction of the club, AJ Styles. They actually have stopped doing that hot potatoing of the championship. I'm going to go with Ricochet as a successful title defense. But I can actually see this feud continuing on to SummerSlam. And if anything, to actually save both of their momentum, I could see this ending in a disqualification finish. Because it's the only. Granted, it would piss everyone in Philly off an Extreme Rules pay-per-view and having one of the anticipated matches, a potential match of the night candidate, getting a disqualification.
When it
comes to storyline, it actually does. It would make sense.
And on the same coin, I don't think anyone would bitch about the club being the reason why there was the disqualification. You know. I have Ricochet retaining also. I just think that this is going to be his breakout year, and if it hasn't already. And I just feel that if there's going to be, I don't think that title change with Styles the tease was to test waters like the whole Jericho thing back in the Attitude Era. I think they just storyline wise decided to do that. So I think if Styles is to win the U.S. title again, if he's not involved in like a 6-man at SummerSlam with the club, because focus is primarily there, he's to win it at SummerSlam. So Ricochet.
I'm going to go with AJ Styles for this one, just because the whole situation seems way too ripe for AJ Styles to call in the club and do something ridiculous and just totally steal the U.S. title because he can, setting up for some sort of big, extravagant 6-man tag at SummerSlam.
If they're gonna do a 6-man tag at SummerSlam, like,
why would you need the title?
Yeah, he doesn't really need the title, and honestly, I could see them starting to polish up a new formed heel AJ Styles for Seth Rollins down the line for the Universal title. So having him just have the United States title, and you guys know how I feel about the United States title already, so he's above it.
Hopefully Ricochet can resurface the title. And
then again, this is my current philosophy just within the past, I want to say 6 months when it relates to the Intercontinental and mid-card titles. There's so many talented people now, especially in the mid-card, that really everyone who's going for the U.S. and Intercontinental titles now could be considered to be above them. But to me, that just makes those mid-card titles way more appealing to watch. So it's sort of a double-edged sword in my mind. It's like I said maybe a week or two ago. I think it was in reference to something you said. Saying that Cesaro is above the U.S. title is like saying Shinsuke Nakamura is above the IWGP Intercontinental title. Technically, you're right.
I think you said that last week.
Did I say that last week?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I still stand by it. I mean, technically, on a skill and charisma level, you're absolutely right. But that also doesn't mean that I can't make that title scene way more credible and way more appealing.
Well, I never considered the U.S. title as actually a mid card. I call it I considered it down to the third tier title. Nakamura and Finn Balor are going to fight for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, and that is actually the perfect point for both guys, really. Cesaro should be in an Intercontinental title picture. That's how I feel. When I say they're above the United States title, it's because I look so down on that belt. I don't consider it. It's like how the European title was back in the Attitude Era. It was just a title that was there, but you really didn't have anything. The only time it actually had any real value was when Kurt Angle had it with the Intercontinental Championship.
And it needed to be teamed with the title to mean something.
Mm-hmm. So when you have the Intercontinental Championship there, which has such a prestigious history, yeah, it's like that point. Yeah, you look at guys who are deserving of the big world title, and from where they're at now, yeah, the Intercontinental Championship is the perfect title to go for.
Well, speaking of our man Cesaro, let's talk about him. We've got Cesaro. Cesaro is the man who knocks. Just recently announced Cesaro versus Aleister Black.
Now, because you said that, I want Cesaro to come out with Bryan Cranston in his corner.
Yeah, seriously, this is my early pick for match of the night. This is, in terms of just... Who's starting this off?
I am.
Okay. See, this happens every single prediction show we got. We always get so involved that we always... This is the way we roll around.
But you're not wrong.
What? I'm not wrong?
You're not wrong. It is one of the top contenders of being match of the night.
Oh, yes. But even before we get to our predictions...
And that's just not because I have the biggest hard-on for Cesaro, which...
No, these guys are legit great.
Yeah.
If they are
But I still have a hard-on for Cesaro right now.
Yeah. And truth be told, he has been doing some fantastic work. And just with the way these two work, strictly on a skill level, if they give these guys the time and the space to do what they do, they will steal the show. We're sorry.
Oh, my
All right.
That was on right before I came here, too.
All right, Charlie, take us there.
Aleister Black, you'd be foolish to pick anybody else when you're repackaging. I know Tarek's going to be going against his heart and his heart on. But Aleister Black, you'd be foolish to go with anybody else. I just hope that in this repackaging they don't repackage his entrance, because that's incredible.
Yeah,
and if they are to change that, I'd be a sad panda.
Yeah, it's money. That entrance is money. That being said, I've got a weird feeling that Cesaro might actually take this,
and
because
this is where Jeff loses the prediction game.
Well, the title isn't being defended for me.
Oh yeah, true.
This time.
Yeah.
This time.
This is just for points, man.
But I am going
Those
to...
points could add up later this year.
I am still going to go with Cesaro here, strictly because I see this is the makings of a much more extended feud.
But
That's Alistair will ultimately win. But given that...
who loses?
Here's the 2 points I want to make out of this. Given that A, Cesaro is actually going through a legit repackaging right now, and it's being looked like a real hardcore legitimate threat in a way that he hasn't done in a long time since leaving the bar. And
He absorbed Sheamus' entrance. Did you notice that?
Oh, yes,
no,
he did.
they're saying...
And Aleister Black, because it's not his main debut on the main roster.
But it's his repackaging debut.
It's not really
also
it's
technically his singles debut.
Yeah, I think, but even then, I'm pretty sure he's had
You're lucky this card doesn't matter for you.
Well, there's still I can still be proven right in spirit.
Okay.
And even so, I still have a
Take
feel.
a lot of spirits.
Well, and my spirit tells me that I think that Aleister Black has enough exposure on the main roster as it is that it's not enough to tilt me in his direction, and I got a gut feeling that Cesaro is going to walk away with this. Now,
wait, can you say that last part again? The last thing you said?
I think
about Aleister Black?
He said Aleister Black has had enough exposure on the main roster. So apparently sitting in the back for 5 seconds and saying, "Come fight me!"
No.
is enough exposure.
No. I'm talking about when it was primarily teaming with Ricochet, while also having the occasional singles match on Raw or SmackDown, wherever he was.
Now I have to play technicalities and say that didn't really matter main roster-wise, because that would mean that Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are on the main roster right now, too.
Well, even if you put it that way, it's still, whatever you qualify it as, it doesn't seem to me enough that it's not enough to make me go Aleister Black for that reason. There's still a certain freshness with Cesaro, and with him playing the heel, or at least the antagonist, so to speak, I see this as the makings of a much more extended feud, which Aleister will eventually win, but I think this is going to be extending into SummerSlam and possibly beyond. But I think that for now, I do believe it could begin with a Cesaro victory at Extreme Rules.
Okay, and if the champ could excuse me for a second, there is an absolutely ridiculous fan theory that each of Bray's dolls transferred their being into certain wrestlers, and one being Cesaro, and that's why he's going like mad crazy squash Hulk smash mode right now.
Okay, that is crazy odd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Where did you hear that?
Why, there's a YouTuber that does recaps and like finds all the puppets in like the backstage entrances and stuff, and just either comes up with or gathers fan theories on where WWE's going with this whole Bray Wyatt Fiend thing.
Yet, not one puppet showed up with Cesaro. Like, even in like backstage segments.
I don't know.
They showed up for Kofi Kingston, Apollo Crews, Bailey this past week with Rambling Rabbit.
They said that the Shelton thing is because he's apparently like surrounded by them.
That's a stretch.
Okay, yeah,
It's a stretch. I don't believe it.
It's just fan theories. There's no.
It's a big stretch.
A fan theory. Take us home. What do you got for this match, Cesaro or Aleister?
I'm gonna go with Aleister Black on this one. As much as my penis is telling me to go for Cesaro, it's more than just my heart. It's my penis as well.
Penis feelings.
My penis feelings. giving me all Cesaro giving me all the tingles down there.
But can we refrain from talking about penis feelings at least for
another? Come on, SmackDown talked about it.
At least for another 15 minutes.
Okay, fine. When we get about Cesaro,
when we get into the tag team,
the thing is with Cesaro is you're absolutely right with all the praise that you had for Cesaro. So that's why I think taking this one loss will not hurt his big push on from then on. This is Aleister Black's re-debut for the main roster for most of the crowd, because even for someone like Vince McMahon, yeah, their last time they were a tag team was WrestleMania, and that was ages ago for Vince McMahon. It's more just like they don't even reference Ricochet and Aleister Black as if it never happened. So this is a brand new Aleister Black that teamed up with Ricochet. This is now, it's not just two NXT guys that showed up on the main roster. These are now real call-ups, getting real characters. And I feel like right now this is something that, when you look at both guys, Aleister Black needs this more, because we've seen plenty of what Cesaro can do. And even with this new push, it's not going to hurt him. It's not going to hurt him at all. So, yeah, Aleister Black. He needs the win a lot more than Cesaro does.
So, has Sheamus, what's the deal?
As of right now, I'm not 100% sure.
Because it's kind of hard to believe, if he has an injury, that he's doing all of this fitness stuff with superstars on YouTube.
Fitness is one thing. Wrestling is another.
Do you see the workouts that he's doing, though?
It's great. Good for him.
Hardcore stuff.
But at least, doing these fitness things and just basically throwing yourself around the mat, the outside, all that is completely different. This is much more safe environment for him to be in with his past injuries. Is he fully retired? I'm not 100% sure, but I can definitely see,
because he's certainly he's branding himself right now. So.
Right now, they definitely absorbed the Sheamus character into Cesaro, especially the fact that he glows like he's from the heavens. I love it. I love his new theme song.
It sounds menacing.
It is menacing, and he deserves a lot more than just having two random matches with No Way Jose. now he's gonna he'll look glorious in defeat, but this is more Aleister Black's moment than Cesaro.
Okay, yeah, I have it. Moving on, we also have Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending their tag titles against the New Day and Heavy Machinery.
I believe it's yours, fool.
It's mine. All right. For this one, I'm calling Daniel Bryan and Rowan to retain. I'm thinking that this is going to be another one that's going to lead up to something interesting at SummerSlam, as Rowan and Bryan are just way too good, way too interesting. They're money. I want to see more of what they do. Captain Planet. Okay. Champ, who do you got?
I'm gonna go for the Planet's champions to successfully retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And this one's actually another match that could potentially be match of the night candidate, because from seeing what they did with seeing what Heavy Machinery and the Planet's champions did at Stomping Grounds, and now you add the New Day into this one. This one's going to be a great match.
Charlie, who do you got?
Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Okay. Although I feel... Okay. So, I was watching SmackDown, and that whole segment was completely Vince McMahon driven. It's like, tag titles are down. I know what will save them, dick and fart jokes. So, there will be no touching of the championship tips. New Day's losing. Otis can come all he wants, but it's not going to be near the tag team titles.
Good night, everybody.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
The Planeteers or whatever.
Do we want to move on to the G1 Climax predictions? That's starting right now, too. Do we want to talk about that for a while?
Sure.
No, not without Brian.
No.
It's just not the same.
You guys can't climax without Brian.
Your words, not mine.
Not in this case. This is the one climax where we just need all three members.
I hate you all. All right, so moving on.
Am I right?
Moving on.
You haven't earned that. Get your elbow off.
Moving on, we've got Bayley
champ.
defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
The woman who hasn't been here to drive her own story.
Well, that's what happens when you get a sinus infection.
Yeah.
You can't
All
really
right.
blame her.
All right, I'm being too distracted by climaxes to remember whose turn it is.
It's
Give you some
mine.
space there.
It's mine. It's actually funny. I've been really like, for one of the storylines going on in WWE right now. This is one of the most least interesting for me. It's that and the two big main events that they're pushing. But we'll cross those bridges when we come to them. For this one, it's going to be Bayley's going to successfully retain. But what I personally want to see happen is that in the whole build of this storyline is just everybody telling Nikki Cross that Alexa Bliss is going to eventually turn on her. She's not to be trusted. And Nikki's always, no, she's a good person. She's my best friend, blah, blah, blah. And they're just having all these things happen where Nikki Cross is actually getting Alexa Bliss the rematch. She's doing everything she can for Alexa. And for me, I kind of see a double turn happening in this match where we're going to have a backstage segment and you're going to have Alexa Bliss be thanking Nikki Cross for everything she's done. She's being very genuine and saying Nikki Cross actually has been there and she's actually shown to be a true friend. And then the big reveal is going to happen during the handicap match, and Nikki's going to turn on Alexa Bliss and leave Alexa Bliss lying, and Bayley's going to get the final nail in the coffin. 1, 2, 3.
To be fair,
and then you're going to build SummerSlam with a heel Nikki Cross. Everyone thinks I'm just this gullible person who's being used for being used by Alexa Bliss for her own personal game, where I'm using her for my game.
I could easily see that panning out.
I see it a lot more. It's something I want to see a lot more happen than just handicap match and Sasha Banks returns to save Bayley and Sasha Banks turns on Bayley to set up their match. You know what? I just want to see.
She is apparently featured for SummerSlam.
I think it's just going to be Bayley wins. She's going to celebrate saying she's the champion. She now has no contenders, and Sasha Banks comes out and just say, "All right, well, you have me. I'm back. You've made your mark as SmackDown Women's Champion. Now I want to take you on." And that sets them up. And they'll slowly turn into a heel turn.
And whereas your logic is awesome, WWE logic is probably what we're going to get. And the latter was WWE logic, so...
And I feel like... the whole thing is, I just feel like the main focus on this one has been Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So, continuing their story, that where you have Alexa Bliss having a Moment of Bliss segment with Bayley, and she just basically gave their entire history together from NXT on, how Bayley always looked down on her, and all this is my redemption. They're giving Alexa Bliss so much backstory and actually something that you can sympathize with her, that you can actually see a face turn coming for her, and having Nikki Cross, people who are thinking that she's just this gullible person, actually being the one that's actually taking advantage of Alexa Bliss's fame, would actually be an interesting storyline. And it's just like, now Alexa feels what she did to she's been gone for only a couple months and I'm already forgetting her name. She's not like most girls.
Nia
Jax. Yeah, I told you. She's been gone for a few months and I forget her name.
She could stay gone.
But yeah, so all the stuff that Alexa's done is like, so that's what it feels like on this end. And she basically is becoming a babyface. She's now, I want to redeem myself kind of ordeal. Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. Grudge match.
Interesting.
And
Charlie, who do you got?
To be fair, how long can Nikki Cross stay face? So, Bayley.
I'm going Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Okay.
As a co-champion.
No, they're for the purposes of this, they're actually on a team, correct?
Yeah, they're on a team, so yeah, co-champions.
All right. So the reason I'm saying that is, as much as your idea sounds absolutely awesome,
It's not WWE logic.
well, not even that, because I've seen it being pulled off on something similar pulled off on WWE programming before. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. The one thing that's giving me pause right now is how over Nikki Cross is as a face. She's naturally very likable, and I'm going to say it, I think she's cute.
Is she really over though?
She seemed to be getting cheers when she was on a Moment of Bliss. I think she's getting over.
I don't know.
Either way, I'm still going to say Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Fair.
The team collectively wins. Whether that results in Alexa becoming the champion or Nikki becoming the champion.
From what everyone's been saying, is a co-champion thing.
Even if that is the case, I can see this very easily and blatantly.
As long as they don't break the title like Lay Cool.
I don't think they're going to be doing that again. But I can see them fighting over it at SummerSlam, where it's ultimately, whether it's a discovery of, oh, I want the entire belt, or that's what they warned me about with you. They can do any number of spins on this that you want. But ultimately, I think the result is going to result in Alexa, the result is ultimately going to result in a result. And that result is Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross winning at Extreme Rules.
I just see Sasha Banks versus Bayley as the bigger match. I mean, it's their number 2 pay-per-view of the year. This pay-per-view is this nothing more than just the setup for SummerSlam,
and you know what? Even when you said that, I still think that there's a way Sasha Banks can be worked into that if that's a direction they do want to take. But as far as the actual match result goes, I'm putting my money on Alexa and Nikki.
Hello, nurse.
Hello, nurse.
With you pulling all the Animaniacs reference, I might as well. I still think Alexa Bliss is the live-action version of Hello, nurse. I stand by that.
And I stand by the fact that I think Scottish accents are sexy, but that's another point for another time. Instead, we have to talk about Kofi Kingston defending his title against Samoa Joe.
Charlie?
Oh, baby. I like this.
Me too. However, I do not see Joe winning yet. I'm going to go with Kofi. He will be the only championship tip in New Day. And yeah, Kofi retaining.
With the whole story going around that with Kofi getting injured at a house show. Injury at a house show, go figure. And
why does that happen to all the good champions?
Why does that happen to period? Everyone they just don't seem to be, they seem to be more careless on house shows. And that leads to a lot of people getting injured on house shows. But we don't need to talk about that. As much as I want to see Samoa Joe win, and I really want to see him win, he is the complete package. He can take shit and turn it into gold. He takes the shittiest storylines and just how he cuts it in a promo, he makes it just entertaining to watch. But they're still continuing on the high of Kofi Kingston, and if he's going to lose the title, it'll probably be at SummerSlam. But yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be Kofi Kingston, and
unfortunately, it's going to be Kofi Kingston.
Yeah,
I may be like in the minimal crowd here, but I'm kind of getting a little tired of Kofi's title reign. But yeah, I'm like in the minimal crowd, but I like Kofi. It's just right now his storylines are just really repetitive. It's just
but he puts on good matches.
He does put on good matches, and I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just talking about storyline aspects. It's kind of the same thing. You're only champion because you're using Xavier Woods and Big E, even though he keeps proving them wrong. It's the storyline everybody seems to be going to. And he's still milking off the fact that his WrestleMania win was the greatest win of his career. And it's just right now it's now reached that point where it's getting a little stale for me. But I'm still choosing him. I'm still predicting him to win, and
I'm interested in hearing Jeff's on this.
I really want Samoa Joe to win this, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He's right now just if they continue the storyline going, and if he goes for Kofi at SummerSlam, I do want Kofi to win. I want Samoa Joe to win at SummerSlam, but I kind of have a bad feeling they're going somewhere else with Kofi. I don't like it. Do you have an idea? You have an idea of where I'm going? Oh boy!
Especially if Kofi's pseudo injured, they're definitely going to go with him for him.
I'm going to say Samoa Joe.
I knew it!
Wait, seriously? Or are you just joking? Oh wow, you really are going with Samoa Joe on this. Good for you.
I'm going to go with Samoa Joe strictly because, and again, there's nothing definitive I can absolutely hang my hat on.
Yeah, this is a very interesting show for you.
But yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All me and you need to give a fuck about is the Usos and Revival right now.
Yeah.
All right. Seriously.
Jeff's going to be there watching everything.
Yes, I will be.
I mean, we're all going to watch everything.
Yes, we will be. But the reason I'm going with Samoa Joe is because, for two reasons. Number one, because of Kofi's injury, we don't know.
Your indiness.
Am I what?
Your indiness.
My indiness?
Your indiness.
No, not quite.
Okay.
No. Instead, I'm going to say that Samoa Joe, they need to have a much stronger heel. Cause
for who?
For just in general. Like, Samoa Joe's just too good. This is the kind of establishment he needs. And if history has shown us anything, it's that Kofi can survive this. It's not like he cannot lose a match. He's been on an incredible winning streak since then.
He lost a match.
Either way, yeah, but he still looks very strong. He looks like a champion. He's not a sort of pseudo champion like some title holders in the past have been.
Well, apparently it took 11 years for them to realize he looks like a champion. So,
but now they got it, and he's over. He's money. He's got the whole 9 yards. So I think he's in a place now where the brass and WWE can be confident in him, and they don't have to worry about something like that. So either way, I know it's probably the longest shot I'm going to make tonight, but I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go buck wild. I'm going to say Samoa Joe wins.
All right.
Good for you.
Why you say good for you?
Good for you. You're just with these predictions. You're just all over the place. I'll
tell you what. Since the title is not on the line for me, this is me testing the waters of what WWE is going to be doing leading up to SummerSlam, so that when the title is on the line for everybody, then I'll have a better understanding of what WWE is going for, and then maybe, just maybe, the title will change hands in my favor. Yes, I will shake my pencil at you, sir. But in the meantime, we also have a couple more matches to get through, starting with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, of all things.
The Graveyard Dogs. Yeah, I told them about that.
The Graveyard Dogs, I can't believe that's a real shirt.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
It completely caught you off guard with that. I was like, wait, what?
Not only is that a shirt, but that's what shifted my opinion about this match.
It kind of shifted my opinion on this match, too.
All right, so am I understand that we're all going...
You fool.
Am I understand that we're all going Undertaker Roman Reigns for this one?
Yep.
All right, that is pretty easy. I thought you were joking about that when you told me about it before we started taping this episode today.
It's a legitimate thing.
Oh,
what
Revival also has a new shirt.
The Revival also has a new shirt?
It's like a cartoon outlining of a picture of them. It says,
I've heard that, yeah.
And it's like weird red, orange-ish. I don't know.
It looks old school,
yes.
80s, 90s.
Yes.
World Wrestling Federation era, yeah. So, which, come to think of it, actually does match their characters, so I'm not going to buy it, but I'm cool with it.
And one other factor that really changed my mind in this one is what happened on SmackDown with Kevin Owens. It looks like they're kind of changing how I was picturing how SummerSlam was going to go. And from what they're doing with introducing Kevin Owens as now the Stone Cold / CM Punk-esque character. Well, one thing, I loved it.
The promo was great.
The promo was amazing, and him just showing up and giving a KO stunner to Shane McMahon. It was just like, it's like Attitude Era. 10 years ago, a McMahon took a stunner.
I just like that he mentioned Liv Morgan.
Huh.
But yeah, now it looks like they're kind of shifting more towards having Kevin Owens fighting Shane McMahon at SummerSlam.
And you know what? I'd be okay with that.
Because it would take away from what we all fear.
Yes. That too.
Adding to a new factor that is feared.
What do you mean?
Who they might have the WWE Championship at SummerSlam be?
Who would they have it be then?
The one half of the winner of the tag match we just talked about.
Aha.
Kofi Kingston versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Now that they're ending, they're slowly taking Shane McMahon off TV, and it looks like it's going to be Kevin Owens the one to do it, and Roman Reigns finally ending the feud with Shane McMahon. Where is he gonna go?
The heat?
And with Undertaker choosing Drew McIntyre as his next opponent, where do you think Roman's gonna go? And what do you think all this build of making Kofi Kingston look strong all for?
Feed him to the big
darn
man.
it.
No, I don't.
Good night, everybody.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
See?
But I think even Roman Reigns forgets he's a SmackDown superstar right now. So what says creative?
This was his first SmackDown appearance in a month and a half. Good for him. But yeah, now that he's actually showing up on SmackDown again, who's Kofi going to fight after Samoa Joe?
Give it to Ziggler. Should have been him.
Yeah. I gotta high five that. That makes me happy to hear you say that. I love Ziggler, and just hearing you say
he almost super kicked Kofi out of the cage. That was fantastic.
All right.
And he's
here to show the world.
Person in real life.
He's here to show the world. He's here to show the world.
Come on, bring it on.
Bring it on.
All right, let's bring it on home. The main event: Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch defending both of their titles in a winner-take-all match versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
I dropped my one.
Whose turn is it?
What did you say?
I hate this. I hate this feud, but just add the F-bomb in between.
Okay, so take us home, champ. What do you got?
Let this feud end. I am so tired of pretty much having 3 pay-per-views in a row where it's Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans and Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. 2 feuds that I was never really that big a fan of. And what do they do to try and make it worse? Let's throw them together because hey, guess what? You know who Seth Rollins is? He's Becky Lynch's boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know that?
Now he has a T-shirt that says "The Man's Man."
What a way to just basically completely cut the balls off of Seth Rollins. When you have Maria Kanellis saying that Mike is his bitch, it's pretty much like, oh yeah, you have your bitch Becky Lynch, and I have mine.
No,
because Seth Rollins is Becky Lynch's boyfriend. It's not Becky Lynch is Seth Rollins' girlfriend. That's just they're in a relationship. Oh yeah, and guess what? He's her boyfriend. Yeah, he may be the Universal Champion, but he's Becky Lynch's boyfriend.
So they're together?
They're together, and as he puts it, they probably kiss under bleachers.
I don't know. I hear rumors that Seth Rollins totally likes Becky.
Yeah.
And
I hear he's going to take her to prom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. And they're totally going steady, guys.
You think their prom dress is going to be orange like her hair?
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be so
look like
cute.
It's on fire.
It's going to be so cute.
She's going to be the new girl that's on fire.
And they wanted to say goodnight, everybody, with what I was saying.
They're going to be totally prom king and queen.
Oh, that's so adorable. But yeah, I cannot end this feud. I'm so tired of Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, fool. I'm so tired of Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch. End these feuds.
So who wins?
This is ridiculous. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch retain. Have them move on to bigger and better things.
Okay, Chuckles. What do you got?
Bring Charlotte back.
Sethy Rollins.
Sethy Rollins.
Yep.
We have one match to determine the title.
I know. It comes down to the Revival and the Usos. Fucking A.
Well, I guess that depends on how Brian does, but there's still my prediction for this match.
We already know what you're gonna choose.
What am I choosing?
Lacey's legs.
Well, yes, along with the rest of her. But yeah, I'm totally going there. I'm totally going Baron and Lacey.
Oh my God!
I told you every month until it happens. Every month until it happens. But there's a kicker. They're going to win, and instantly Bork Laser is going to show up and cash in on Baron. F5, shut your mouth. 1, 2, 3. He steals the title.
You're calling a Brock Lesnar cash-in?
I'm calling a Brock Lesnar cash-in.
Oh, boy, fool. You do know what happens if he doesn't cash in. The deal we made for cash-ins for the rules.
Ooh.
If he cashes in and succeeds, it's 1 point for you. But if there is no cash in, or if he cashes in and fails, that's minus 2 points.
Okay, so we're doing that rule again.
Yep.
Okay, so now my question is,
really think about it. Are you really gonna go? Are you really gonna go there?
Paul Heyman is
Yes.
Oh.
Paul Heyman would. It's Chekhov's gun. He would not say that if he wasn't going to do something. And I think they've got much bigger plans for Kofi. I think they're going to extend this feud with Samoa Joe. I just don't think they're going to have enough confidence in Baron Corbin to leave the title on him as it is.
He's either really ballsy or really stupid this event.
I'm telling you, I'm testing the water since the title is not on mine. I'm crazy like a fox, baby. Not only do I believe in my lady Lacey,
Funky like a monkey, baby.
But again, this is a perfect way to shake things up. It's going to be a perfect way to shake things up leading into SummerSlam, build hype for it, build interest, and switch the titles, do something crazy without leaving the title on Baron Corbin. And you get Brock Lesnar leading up in the SummerSlam.
So boom. To take this off of Tarek's face, I wanted to ask him a question before during the whole tag title talk. How did you feel about Rowan's burial during that promo? Xavier Woods calling him out, saying he's been a lackey to everyone he's ever been with, and he can't speak for himself.
I don't think they're going to go anywhere with it, really. It's an interesting thing to point out because, it's true.
It was a complete piss on your career statement by Xavier Woods.
All right, so just to clarify, we're talking the point system for a cash-in. If I get it right, it's 1 point, but if I call it and it doesn't happen, it's minus 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to totally use this opportunity to test the waters. On this event. I'm going to use this opportunity to test the waters and see what exactly WWE is thinking, so I am better prepared for SummerSlam. I'm planning ahead.
SummerSlam being the 11th is just going to be a repeat of this with some change-ups.
This could be either your best event. This could be either your best non-for pay-per-view or your worst pay-per-view.
You might even say I'm taking it to the extreme.
Tarek, I look forward to knowing who that title belongs to after the opening match.
Hey, you still cannot sleep on Brian, who is waiting in the wings with his beef case.
Yes, but the only difference me and Brian has ain't going to happen either, so I'm calling him out of this.
You know what?
And you're going to have the most interesting night out of all of us.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. And you know what? Much like this show as a whole.
And hell, if Jeremy actually put results on his picks, he'd be sitting here instead of me. So
I'll tell you what. I've got a feeling this show, on every single conceivable level, is going to set up SummerSlam, not just for WWE, but for everyone sitting at this table and everyone watching. This is going to be a wild time.
SummerSlam is going to be this card without the stipulations, plus Finn versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think there's still going to be plenty of surprises, more than you think.
It's one of their big two. They're going to have like 14 matches, man.
Yeah, true.
They're gonna add like 5 more matches to this.
So many storylines, so many different possibilities. I love it.
We're not gonna get.
Do we see the Fiend at Extreme Rules?
I honestly hope not.
No, I think they're going to save that for either a Raw or a SmackDown.
Save it for Paul Heyman's first episode of Raw. Like the first episode under his wing,
which is
the night after tomorrow. Jesus Christ!
Yep, that good old Saturday.
What day is this?
I don't know anymore. With your predictions, you're risking a lot. And I'm
going to risk it for the biscuit, baby.
I will not risk it for the biscuit when the biscuit is tantalizingly in my grasp. But you know what? Now I'm just studying the recipe, baby. Yes, we went there.
Fuck it. I'm the Avatar. Find me on Twitter. I'm out. I can't.
Yes, join the conversation. Join us all on social media, because you know who we are. And you can also find me at I'm Robbie Rage. Check me out.
I'm Brian at Atomic Beanpole.
Yes, what the champ said. Either way, you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you all at Extreme Rules. Let's get extreme.
Jesus Christ.